Well, that was a anticlimactic game seven. If I'll be really honest with you, I was on the phone with my little brother who's a Clippers fan. I know it's kind of tragic for him. Um, that that game, it just looked like they were out of energy. The Clippers, they had no energy, they had no drive. They actually feel like they kind of forgot that this was a game seven, that their back was against the wall, and there's no game eight for them to go back home to LA to, other than to go home to their bed, because they looked gassed. Defensive mishaps was happening. It was really everything that they had the first six games of the series, kind of just threw it out the window game seven, which did not make sense to me. I don't know what was wrong. I don't know what the game plan was. The thing is, this is the ideal Jokic game that you would want. He had a bad game and y'all ended up still losing. It blew my mind. Now look. If y'all don't know who this is, if y'all new to the channel or anything, it's Sean here. You know, I just love hoops. I just like watching the game. I enjoy it so much. If you do too, I would appreciate if you go ahead and like button, subscribe. You know, comment down below. You know, what's your favorite team? I love to talk hoops. I just love to talk about it. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about this Game 7 series, because at the end of the day, a lot of other outlets are already going to talk about it. And honestly, there's not much to talk about. It was a blowout. I want to salute the Clippers for even getting to this far and exceeding expectations as far. Kawhi Leonard came out to play. Shout out Kawhi. Harden did things. Norman Powell, buddy, you stunk. I'm be honest with you. But what I really came here to go ahead and talk about is actually this round two matchup of the Clippers versus Clippers. I thought the Nuggets versus the Thunder. Now I'm really excited for this. As a Thunder fan, it's been forever since I got to watch my team play a series. And honestly, the Grizzlies was not too much of a it was a matchup, but it wasn't really too much of a competition. It wasn't really too competitive. It was a sweep, blowouts, boom, 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 this and the third. Now, I would probably say I would rather have played this Nuggets team than this Clippers team, just out of the fact that they have way more wing defenders to throw at Shea, which is going to make it hard. But the Nuggets themselves have the best player in the league. Now it helps a lot that we have a lot of wing defenders. Now we played them 4 times this season, and we split the season. You know, we won the first one. They ended up winning the second one from a Payne Watson game-winning block on Shea. We beat the third one on national TV, and then we end up losing the back-to-back on the fourth one in a kind of a blowout fashion. You know, fourth quarter kind of collapsed. They realized the game plan, which was to trap Shea at the beyond the backcourt, and then play 4-on-3. And the rest of the guys did not know what to do. Now, from what I remember, Chet, this was one of a couple games Chet was just coming back to, and I was just looking at it. Russ had hit 3 threes, Payne Watson had hit 3 threes, and that's what's going to be really crucial in this series. The Thunder give up a lot of open threes. That's kind of just our philosophy. That's kind of what we just do. That's what we had done last year. That's what we had done this year. We give up a lot of open threes, and we kind of live with it. Now, is that a recipe to win? I'm not sure. We have the best. Well, I think we're the best one. We have the best net rating. I'm pretty sure of all time, or if not that, we're second to the '96 Bulls. Now, I don't know how it's going to look in the playoffs where we let up these open threes. It's going to go to Russ. It's going to go to Payne Watson. The thing that I've noticed with this series though is Russ hitting his threes, just flat out. He's hitting his threes. That game one where the Clippers is going to go ahead and pick their poison and let Russ hit threes, he had hit crucial threes. You just live with it. At the end of the day, it's Russell Westbrook. You just live with him hitting those threes, and that's what's going to happen for us. That's how we're going to defend. We're going to live with Russ hitting those open threes, because we're going to go ahead and try to double Jokic. Now, Jamal Murray started off pretty slow in that previous series, and then started getting all back together as the time went on. Now, luckily, we have a lot of defenders to throw at Jamal Murray. We have Caruso, we have Casey Wallace, we have Lou, we have even Shea if needed. There's nobody that you really can hunt on this team. And on top of not having anyone to hunt on the team, we have great hands to go ahead and do so. Aaron Gordon, somebody that was going ahead and really punishing the Clippers on offensive rebounds, and on top of that, just punishing them in a physical type of aspect, because they threw Kawhi on Gordon, And I think that was actually very crucial in their Game 7 win because it tired out Kawhi, and Kawhi being just their best player and offensive player, um, needing Kawhi to be there tired him out guarding Gordon, which is more physical. Now it's going to be crucial. I'm wondering how they're going to play this, because what you would do ideally probably is to throw iHeart on Jokic and let Chet be the roamer. Thing is that Aaron Gordon's been hitting his threes. Flat out. He just been hitting his threes. You can't really leave Aaron Gordon too open or he's going to go ahead and punish that. So Chet can't be too much of a roamer and play on the help side. But I think with Chet's, because the first game of the season, we didn't have Isaiah Hartenstein at all. And that was a 102-87 win. And of course, it's first game of the season, completely different. Everybody's still getting their legs, and everybody, it's first game of the season. With it being no Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet played great defense for his first game against Jokic in his sophomore year. I would probably like to have Chet on Jokic, and I know iHeart's the bigger body, and it would make more sense to do so. But I like the length that Chet provides, though that he's way weaker than Jokic. I like just being able to switch it up. Ideally, I'm only saying to put Chet not the whole entire time, but just to be able to just switch things up. Because then eventually you could throw iHeart on him, and hopefully, I'm saying this all in a hypothetical. hopefully, with it being, I guess maybe start iHeart on it. I was trying to say to get Jokic tired, and then with Jokic being tired, maybe he'll miss more shots. But no, I would want to say maybe you start iHeart and then you put Chet on him later down the line. I digress to say all of that for is one team have multiple rest while the other one only has 1 day of rest. That's gonna play pretty pivoting. That's the right word. That's gonna be pretty crucial for this series. Shea has to come out. He didn't have a really good first game of the year, first series against the Grizzlies. And with him not having a good first series against the Grizzlies until like the last game, the Nuggets don't have too many defenders. And if they do the idea of trapping Shea, the backcourt of trapping Shea, and then letting a 4-on-3 happen, luckily, that last series, Dub had played absolutely amazing. He played out of his mind. He averaged like maybe 25, I want to say 26, just on top of my head. But he was honestly the best player on the court. And with him getting in groove, with Chet getting in groove, with it being a first round series where they're kind of able to get those games under their belt and kind of getting the nerves out and kind of getting their offensive groove going, even though it has been a couple days. With that being had in that first series, hopefully when they do this trap and it becomes a 4-on-3, they're able to go ahead and punish these players. That's what went ahead and had let the Nuggets beat the Thunder on that back-to-back last time they played, which was a 127-141. That fourth quarter, it just had ended up being abysmal. Honestly, they were just throwing doubles at Shea. Ideally, if everything goes well and this team plays up to expectation, I could see this series being Thunder in 5 or 6, and that definitely has bias towards me. I have definitely a bias towards it. From what I've seen from the Nuggets and the Clippers series, the Clippers didn't have a lot of heart. A lot of those games ended up being, and it blows my mind. Game 1, it was hustle at the end of the game with Russ. Russ being in the game, being hustle, ended up bringing that game to OT, and they ended up winning. Game 5, I don't know what Tyronn Lue was thinking, not putting in like a Ben Simmons or Nicholas Batum or Derek, bringing in somebody to go ahead and box out this offensive rebound. Instead of choice to keep Harden in for some reason. I don't see Mark Daigneault doing this. I also don't see letting Aaron Gordon getting a tip Duncan, and that's just effort. That's just straight out effort. I don't see the Thunder getting out efforted in the series. I really just don't. Caruso brings the heart in it. Dort's going to do so. Dub is going to play so. Dort is going. That's a Dort. If not, Dort's going to bring so. Queso is going to do so. Isaiah Joe is going to bring like this team flat out just has heart and is going to go ahead and run for the ball every single time. It's not going to let any plays be easy. I'm really interested. I'm really interested on this series, and I can't wait to watch my team play because it's been a while since I got to see them play. And it's going to be a fun series. It's going to be I know it's going to be a very toxic series. It's going to be such a toxic series. I cannot. Oh, it's going to be so toxic. It's going to be so toxic. And this is a test. This is going to be the best team we played in the playoffs ever. I would say so. Because we're playing against the best player. I don't know. I thought Luka was the best player last year too. I think the real X factor of this series is going to be Jalen Williams. I think in general he's going to be the X factor of the whole entire series. The previous game that we played that was on national TV, we ended up blowing them out, but it was a close game all the way up until about the fourth-ish quarter. About the thing with the Thunder is that they go on these runs where before the lightning even strikes, you hear the thunder. And boom. Oh wait, is it the opposite? The lightning strikes, and by the time you hear the thunder, the game has already have ended. They're going these defensive runs where they pickpocket, gone, and Jalen Williams is going to have to go ahead and man this second unit. That's the most important part. We don't have no extra playmaker, honestly, other than Shea and Jalen Williams. AJ Mitchell is, but he's a rookie. I don't expect him to play too much. Topic hasn't played at all. Caruso is a playmaker, but he's not the offensive initiator that you would like, that would be needed. I'm really excited to see what Mark throws up plays-wise to get everybody moving. I was really excited to see what they had done to the Grizzlies. And this team is so tricky to kind of judge and make predictions on, because in the regular season they was blowing out teams. Like stats have been showing, they have more double-digit wins than single-digit wins. That's telling. In the playoffs, it showed pretty much, other than that last game and then the game previously. But it had showed. And the thing is, those two series, that one series was Shea's worst stretch of games that he had all year. As long as he doesn't play bad, the game, it should be in 5. If he doesn't play bad, it should be in 5. That's how I kind of view it. That's how I see it. They don't have a defender like Zach Edey in the paint. Though Zach Edey is not the greatest defender, he's a big body, so it's going to prevent players from even driving. Jokic is in that paint. I think they're going to start off with the double bigs. I think having Chet out there in the 5 is going to stretch things out and make things impossible. That's the beauty about this team. They have multiple ways to defend you. They have multiple ways to score on you. They have just multiple different ways. And I would say that Zoo is a better offensive player than Isaiah Hartenstein, just in ways of that Zoo could score, and Zoo was giving Jokic some problems, and offensively and even defensively. Our heart's gonna be crucial this series. I need him to be able to hit those little touch floaters. And then when we get him out the game, because I can't see him being a problem offensively and clogging things up. I need Shea to get to those spots and hit them. I need Dub to get to them spots and hit them. I need to see Isaiah Joe hit his threes. I need to see Wiggins, when that second unit come in with Dub, I need to see him contribute to the offensive scoring. Just be an offensive, just juggernaut. I just need 6-8 points from you. When the second unit comes, I need 6-8 points. That's all I need. That seems a lot, but that's all I really need. When Shea's on the bench and it's just Dub, I'm assuming like Caruso, Dub, Wiggins, Chet, and like a Dort or maybe a Joe, but I don't expect them to see a Joe. At least in that lineup, when I see that, I need Wiggins to be the other offensive contributor in that rotation. I don't know what they're going to run. I don't know if Jay Will's going to get any burn. I would be a little surprised if Jay Will got a little bit of burn in this series. Just because showing the rotation, just it being that. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Mark D did that, just because it's Mark Dagnon and he plays a pretty deep rotation a bit in playoffs. And I can see Jay Will being a little bit of a being just a body to throw on Jokic. I can see a rotation where Jay Will been shooting the 3 ball pretty nice, so I can see Jay Will being a body for Jokic and having Chet Chet and Jay Will and have Chet be a roamer. If it's Payne Watson out there, again, they're going to give the corner three open. That the Thunder do that. They're gonna leave a corner three open. So as long as you just guard that corner three, it's a lot. As long as they don't hit those corner threes, it's gonna be cheddar. I don't really expect the Nuggets to do so. What I could see the Nuggets doing though, wow, if I'm also give the Nuggets some credit and give them some leeway, because again they do have the best player in the series so far. Until then, is that I can see the Nuggets taking this to 6 or 7, and if they do, it's going to be because their players are hitting threes at a astronomical rate. You know, when the Thunder had to play like the Lakers had beaten them, and it was a lot of it was because of the fact that they had broke a record in threes, and a lot of them was to an extent kind of a bit openish threes a little bit. Um, the Nuggets gonna have to hit those open shots. If they hit them open shots, you got it. Russ or Payne Watson, they hit those open threes, they got it to an extent. I won't say that you just tip your hat to them, but you just have to live with that because that's just how the defense is played. If they went to 7 against this Clippers team, that's what gives me a lot of hope for this Thunder team. If I'll be honest, again, I don't like to. I'm a fan of a team that's this good and have a lot of expectations now, which is strange, you know, because the past few years it hasn't been like that. So I always like to be a bit hesitant, but I do think, yeah, I got Thunder. Worst case scenario, Thunder in 6. If everything goes to plan, I think Thunder in 5. Yeah, it really could just be a generational run this team could be on, and it's all on the shoulders of Shea, just hitting those shots. If you like this analysis, if you just like how I thought, you know, I gave up some stats, you know, boom, 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 you know, at the end of the day, I just enjoy watching the game. I like watching my team. I've watched my team plenty of times. I can see, you know, I'm assuming if y'all join the channel, y'all also know ball. Y'all also enjoy the game. I just hope that's all I care for. I don't want nothing toxic, even though I know it's gonna be toxic. I just want to enjoy the game, enjoy the series. I just love ball. I appreciate if you even made it this far. I'll be back for the next one. Can't wait for the series to start. Love y'all. Peace.